Despite the fact that Courtney Love's name will go down in history as the wife of the legendary artist Kurt Cobain, and for some, she is like the Yoko Ono of Nirvana, the truth is that Courtney's love life is much more complex than anyone could imagine. Supermodels, actors, hotel moguls, and various rock stars are just some of the men and women of Courtney Love's romantic background. In this video, we will give you all the details of the love life of the widow of Cobain. Courtney Love was always a free spirit, but also tormented. After a chaotic childhood in which she traveled to New Zealand with her mother, and for a while they spent 7 years in a commune, and also a long period in a reformatory. And at the age of 16, she became a stripper and began to travel on her own all around the world. Some of the funds were given to her by her grandmother that complemented the salary as a dancer. Japan, Canada, Ireland, and England are just some of the countries she traveled to during the last years of her adolescence. In the city of Liverpool, that was where she met one of her first loves. Julian Cope, the guitarist of the group The Teardrop Explodes. Courtney maintained an agitated and exasperating relationship that lasted only a few months. Part of her intention was to become the girl of a rock star. Then Nancy Spungen, the girlfriend of the legendary punk artist Sid Vicious, quickly became one of her role models. Spungen had been murdered at the age of 20 and had a very long history of narcotic drug use. So much that she even auditioned for the role of Nancy in the Alex Cox movie Sid and Nancy in 1986. Still, they only gave her the role of Nancy's best friend, a hit for the unknown Courtney. Did you know that Courtney got married at the age of 24 for the first time, and it was not with Kurt Cobain? She married in February of 1989 with the guitarist James Moreland. Although the relationship lasted no longer than 4 months, and to Love, everything was a simple joke. As Courtney was hardly known at the time, little is known about that relationship. In the later years, before meeting Cobain in 1991, Love continued to have adventures with various rock stars, including the former Red Hot Chili Peppers guitarist Dave Navarro, or the keyboardist of Faith No More, Rod Bottum. She also had a tumultuous relationship with Billy Corgan, the leader of the band Smashing Pumpkins. Not many details of this relationship are known, but the truth is that Corgan took her on tour with his group across Europe, and on the return, they refused to pay for her ticket back to the United States. Everything ended bitterly in 1991, and they did not reconcile as friends until later. Although it is assumed that Courtney Love and Cobain had seen each other at some events between the years of 1989 and 1990, it was not until 1991 that they started to flirt, and not long after that, they started a passionate affair, and after 4 months, Love became pregnant with Cobain. It is said that from the first moment that Love saw the singer, she knew he was the love of her life, and it also seemed that she was the one who introduced him to a terrible, harmful substance that would be responsible for Kurt's death. Because all of this, the couple ended up getting married on February 24th of 1992 in Hawaii. He wore a green flannel pajama suit. She had a lovely classic cut wedding dress. After the birth of their daughter, Frances, Cobain began to retreat more and spend more time in solitude, with Love or with his little girl, and to reject his status as an icon of music. It was also a period in which he did not stop abusing narcotic substances, and his fear that Courtney had cheated on him with another man made him be suicidal on more than one occasion. However, Courtney reassured him that she was never unfaithful to him. Once that she was close to cheating, Cobain had sensed it. Therefore, Love tried to take him to rehabilitation, but she failed. Finally, the guitarist and vocalist of Nirvana took his own life on April 5th of 1994, leaving a suicide note in which he expressed that he no longer felt the excitement to get on stage. But surely that action was the only escape that Kurt could see in a vicious, self-destructive circle he had gotten himself into. After the tragic death of Kurt that marked a time, it does not seem that Courtney mourned much, because that same year it was reported that Love had gotten into an affair with the guitarist from the band of Marilyn Manson, Geordie White, besides spending a few months with her previous boyfriend Billy Corgan. And at that time, she also dated former Nine Inch Nails band member Trent Reznor, as well as the guitarist Gavin Rossdale in 1996. However, one of Love's most famous romances happened in that same year in 1996, but with the prestigious actor, the acclaimed Edward Norton. They both met during the filming of the movie The People vs. Larry Flynt, where Love portrayed the lover of the protagonist and Norton was his lawyer. The relationship lasted for 4 years with ruptures and reconciliations, but Norton could not stand the instability of Love, and both took different paths. Even so, they are very close friends today, and Edward has the honor of being Frances Cobain's godfather. After a relationship that lasted from 1999 to 2003 with Jim Barber, who was her manager at the time, which ended up with Courtney Love and her daughter stoning Barber's house, Love did not have many more stable relationships, because stable is not the best adjective to define love. In the following years, we found an endless list of boyfriends, including the comedian Russell Brand in 2006, or the prestigious businessman Andre Balazs, with whom she had kept one of the most beautiful romances of her life in 2010. But he left after Love claimed to have an intimate relationship with supermodel Kate Moss in the early 90s. Balazs is a man of great reputation and could not afford a girlfriend with such public statements. Currently, Courtney Love is 54 and has been dating the film director Nicholas Jareski since the end of 2015, who is 15 years younger than her, but who seems from the photos taken by the press very in love with Love. There's no doubt that Courtney has not wasted her time, and although she is remembered as Cobain's widow, the men who have loved are dozens. What do you think about the disastrous love life of Courtney Love? Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and check out our videos. So until next time.